2025 War of the Worlds is a movie. It's got acting, music, cameras, and a plot. I can't even do this. It's ridiculously bad. What the hell was running through their heads? Did they invent the film at an Amazon delivery ad? Or did they just get so tired of reshoots and readers that they said, forget it. We've come this far and we've got nothing left to lose. Why is Ice Cube always giving a slightly wrong expression? He's confused when he's sad, shocked when he's mad, and he talks in this movie like he got vocal dystonia. His acting is bad enough that even moments where his character would convincingly act in a corny way are clearly due to the bad directing as opposed to a conscious choice by Ice Cube. I say bad directing because Ice Cube isn't a bad actor at all. He's good, at least what we can call good these days. Never really a powerhouse of acting, but always a solid choice for a movie. He's good with good directing. But I don't know if this movie actually had a director. I wouldn't be surprised if Jeff Bezos himself curated a robot to give commands and stitch this movie together like some sort of digital Frankenstein monster. You know what? Let's look at the director now. Mr. Rich Lee, known for one episode of Limitless, one episode of The Society, I don't know what that is either, and a whole lot of music videos. It's a respectable resume for sure, but why him? What qualifications does this man have to spearhead a motion picture based on an iconic novel with existing magnificent adaptations? I feel like most reviewers are giving this movie too much shit for stuff like the setup and the cast, when that's really the least objectionable thing about this disgrace to cinematography. Like, the actual plot played out like an episode of Queen Latifah's Equalizer. You know how out-of-touch execs try to appeal to Gen Z with poorly understood lingo, memes, and plot lines? This movie and other forms of media like it are like that, but for Gen X. Think of Blue Blood, especially from the middle onwards. John Wick 2 specifically, Rebel Ridge, Crime Boss Rockhead City, and so on and so forth. For the post-souls of Gen X, it seems like they haven't just been forgotten. It's like the people who bothered to remember them only know about them, stuff they read from an ancient scroll studded with lead and chipped glass. And War of the Worlds in 2025, quite possibly the boldest remake of a movie ever purely for the dope smoking required to greenlight it, is the epitome of that sentiment. In the year 2025, why would a father resent that his son has a job testing video games? Any father these days would be happy to have an employed son. Much more, that son in a field with respectable pay. The whole dead wife plot was completely useless. You can see that they want you to make the implications about the effects of his dead wife. Like maybe Ice Cube is more desperate because he's already lost a family member, or he's grown detached from his kids because their mom's dead, or that years after the fact he grieves his wife by sending her DMs on Facebook because he's so disconnected from reality due to the anguish that the only way for him to feel a real connection is through the digital world. But they didn't have the work ethic nor the respect for the audience to actually show this. As a matter of fact, why would an NSA agent who knows how insecure public platforms are use Facebook to communicate with his family? It's not even stuff like getting a group chat set up for some little kid's birthday party. It's literally her reminding him to pick stuff up at the store. It's retarded. And the fucking Amazon delivery guy, that's Roderick Heffley, by the way. The very idea of having that character in this movie is just amazing. It's a decision so silly that it circles back around to being ingenious. And you know what? Shameless product placement aside, I can respect that they seem to have at least put some thought into this character's role. As ridiculous as it is, having the Amazon drone deliver the flash drive to Ice Cube was a nice way of using modern technology in the plot. I'll do something unusual and even forget the fact that Ice Cube would have USB ports in his office, when in reality a government building locked down that much wouldn't have such a thing. On that note, I can also begrudgingly respect that they thought about why Ice Cube wasn't leaving the building, as he was literally trapped due to the mass casualty event protocol. So that makes two things in this movie that they actually thought about. 3, if you consider that this thing was thought up during the time of COVID tyranny, which is why the whole thing takes place in Ice Cube's office. It might have done better if it were made and released back then, but this movie was held back for 5 years. It was a good concept, as the whole idea was to mimic how Orson Welles' adaptation of War of the Worlds was broadcast over radio in the early 20th century's closest equivalent smart devices, to make people think the invasion was real. But the fact that the 2025 version of the movie, and had a less than zero chance of ever having that effect, makes me doubt producer Timur Bekmambetov's ideas for the film. By the way, why couldn't they get him to direct this movie? He directed Wanted, Abe Lincoln Vampire Hunter, and the 2016 version of Ben-Hur. Again, it's a respectable resume, even if not the most impressive. And it's certainly better than Rich Lee, who's never done a movie before. But I digress. This movie was supposed to be relatable for people during COVID lockdowns. And the problem for this movie is that people started going outside again. We've been going outside for the better part of those 5 years that this movie was locked up, and each day we forget a little bit more about how bad those early COVID days were. Waiting until 2025 to release this movie cut out a vital part of its intended appeal, even if it's not a very good movie regardless. I truly think that ever since they decided they'd finally release this movie, there just wasn't a good time for it. We've had actual movies over the past 5 years in theaters, even if a lot of them aren't very good. So this one was never going to stand a chance. Another part of me thinks they released this film at this time just to distract us from Eddie Murphy's brand new Amazon slop, released the same week with little to no marketing. That's Eddie Murphy's second movie out of his 3-movie Amazon deal, the first being Candy Cane Lane in winter 2023, which was one of 6 Christmas movies Amazon made for Prime that December. So let's see what the geniuses at Amazon come up with when Eddie makes his 3rd movie. Reading anything about the 2025 War of the Worlds opened up a massive rabbit hole of corporate incompetence at Amazon that's legitimately more interesting than the movie itself. However, I will say that the movie is entertaining, not because it's good, but because it's bad. Watch it with friends and you have a lot more fun with it. It's akin to The Room in that manner, though I'm not sure whether this movie deserves that kind of cult following. In any case, this movie is a perfect storm of baffling timing, comically bad directing, and a cast that somehow manages to tread the tight line between earnest failure and intentional parody. As much as I rag on this film, I don't regret watching it. I might even have to come back to watch with my friends every once in a while. Like, comment, and subscribe if you liked the video. Dislike, comment, and subscribe if you disliked it.
Goodbye.